All right, it is 12:30, so we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Emily, and today we'll be doing a little bit of a food is medicine topic. So when that first pops in my head, food is medicine, I think to myself, why is food considered to be some sort of a preventative measure for chronic disease, right? How can that be thought of as a type of medicine, as a type of remedy for so many sicknesses and illnesses and diseases? Even our mood, our energy levels, the way we go about our day, food affects each and every one of those things. It's something that we put in our body every single day. So it is quite literally what we're made of. The phrase, you are what you eat, is pretty much accurate. The foods that you're putting into your body is a direct result of your health, how you go about living, and your day-to-day health and life. So I'm going to share my screen with the PowerPoint that we have for today. All right, just a second here. All right, so here's just the little PowerPoint for today's lesson for food is medicine. So some of the topics that we'll be covering is a little bit of chronic disease statistics, how you can personally take control of your life, of some of the preventative measures that you can take, kind of explaining why you are what you eat, why that concept is a thing. And then lastly, just a little bit of a preventative measure, how you can control what kind of specific things to limit, what things to add into your diet to really optimize your overall health. So first, chronic disease statistics, and these are all from the CDC website. So if you want to read more into detail, you can go there. But 6 in every 10 adults in the US have a chronic disease. So whether that be heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, cancer, it truly goes on and on. 6 in 10 adults in the US have that. And of those 6 in 10, 4 in 10 adults have 2 or more of those chronic diseases. So it really is so much more common than we think it is. And it is so much more preventable than we think it is. And it all starts with the foods that we consume in our day-to-day lives. So just diving a little bit into deeper detail of some of these chronic diseases. So the main 3 that we're going to be discussing just for today's purposes are heart disease, diabetes, and obesity. So heart disease is the leading cause of death for men, women, and people of most racial and ethnic groups in the United States. That's about accounted for 1 in every 4 deaths in the United States. Diabetes, altogether, almost half of the US adult population is either diabetic or pre-diabetic. That's 50% of the US adult population, which is obscure to me. And a lot of that can be prevented by the food choices that we're making in our day-to-day lives. And then lastly, obesity. About 30% of people in the United States are overweight, 42% have obesity, and almost 10% have severe obesity. So that's a vast majority of the United States that's either overweight, obese, or severely obese. And again, that's one of those major ones that is highly preventative by the food choices that we make each day. And the bottom line, with each of these 3 diseases and more chronic diseases, they are preventable mainly by the foods that we're putting into our body in our day-to-day lives, right? So if we're watching our saturated fats, our processed oils, we limit our sodium intake, our caffeine intake, and we're eating mainly a whole food, plant-based diet with tons of color, fiber, texture, whole grains, and that will really, really help ensure that your body is getting the proper nutrients and the proper care just to kind of take those preventative measures towards each of these chronic diseases. So next, we're going to be talking about how you can take control of your life. This is one of my favorite quotes about why food is medicine. When diet is wrong, medicine is of no use. When diet is correct, medicine is of no need. Right? So to me, that kind of means if you have a poor diet, and I don't mean you have, a cheat meal or you once in a while enjoy some treats. I mean, if you have a consistently poor diet, medicine is not going to be the end all cure all. Again, you can't overwork a bad diet. That's not really how your body works. That's not how your body is going to respond properly. But if your diet is proper and correct consistently, medicine is probably of no need. Of course, there are some circumstances when medicine is definitely necessary, but if you have a consistently proper diet day in and day out, there's a good chance that medicine will not be of need for you. So some of the ways how you can take control. You have much more control over your life, your health than you think. So overall health and well-being of a person is about 30% genetics, healthcare, and the environment that you surround yourself in. The other 70% is lifestyle-related behaviors, right? So most of that, in my opinion, comes from the food that we eat. Obviously, in part of that is going to be your physical activity, your stress, your sleep, your career, your finances, but a good majority of that is going to be from the foods that we are consuming day in and day out. So about 1 in every 5 deaths across the globe are attributed to a suboptimal diet, and that's more than any other risk factor, including tobacco, which completely just blows my mind and shows how powerful food truly is in our diet. So now we're kind of diving into why you truly are what you eat. That saying is so very true. So this is one of my favorite little infographics here. And it's just a did you know graph, and it's every 35 days, your skin replaces itself. In your liver, about a month. So your body makes these new cells from the foods that we're eating each day. Those cells literally become you, become how much energy you have, how you feel, how you act. If your immune system is working to prevent you from sicknesses and diseases. So you literally do become what you eat. It's quite literally what your body is made of. So this is just kind of explaining it even more. If you're fueling your body with a variety of macronutrients, micronutrients, color, fiber, whole grains, hydration, you are going to feel energized, focused, rejuvenated. You're going to have a high immunity. If you're fueling your body with, little nutrients, processed foods, excess saturated fats, empty calories, so kind of like the oils and the alcohol, excess sodium, sugar, and caffeine, that's also a direct reflection of how you will feel and how you will go about your health, right? You're going to feel sluggish, tired, you're going to have that brain fog kind of going on. You're likely going to be hungry, no matter how much you eat. When you're eating this type of food, this high in sodium, this high in saturated fats, your body is not going to feel fully satisfied, right? So you're going to feel dull, you're going to have a low immune system, and you're going to be very irritable likely. And lastly, this little food as medicine, how you can prevent, control, and reverse a variety of chronic diseases. So this is just a little chart of foods that are likely to increase your risk for disease. So like we mentioned before, it's a lot of those unhealthy kind of saturated fats and oils that come from butter, red meats, all those fried foods, things like that. Again, it's not that you need to completely cut out your favorite foods or red meat or whatever it may be, but it's just kind of being more mindful and watching that in order to really optimize your overall health inside and out. So again, a lot of these salty foods, so watching your sodium, or watching your refined sugars, caffeine, your refined grains, right? So like white bread, white sugar, and again, like those fast food type of items. So how can you prevent, control, or reverse a variety of chronic diseases? So for example, if you're looking to prevent or control heart disease or high cholesterol, you're going to want to limit your saturated fats. So your processed oils, your fried foods, butters, red meat, some types of dairy. And you're going to also want to increase your fiber intake. So that comes from colorful vegetables and fruit, whole grains, beans, legumes, all those kind of plant-based whole food items. If you're looking to kind of prevent or control your diabetes risk, you're going to want to limit the sweet things, snacks, sugary beverages like pop or juices, and also limiting your fats and added oils in there too. For blood pressure, so if you're looking to control a high blood pressure situation, you're going to want to limit your saturated fats, your sodium, your caffeine, your processed oils like fried foods, butter, red meats, energy drinks, coffee. That caffeine can really, really spike your blood sugar. And if you're having that consistently, it can lead to a lot of very serious health risks. So for obesity, if you're looking to control that, you're going to obviously want to really, really increase your fiber intake. So that's going to be fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans, legumes. Those type of foods are really going to help keep you full and satisfied and kind of help getting all of your organs moving in place there. You're going to want to really optimize your hydration. So you're going to want to stay hydrated all day. That's going to give you lots of energy. It's going to help keep you full. And also limiting, obviously, your saturated fats, oils, sodium, empty calories, so kind of like your alcohols, your fried foods, things like that. And lastly, food can also really, really have a large impact on your overall mood. So it's not just for preventing diseases or boosting your immune system. It's also how you act, how you go about your relationships, your career. It's helping you have that energy and that liveliness and that rejuvenation in your day-to-day life in order to truly optimize who you are as a person. So a big part of that is limiting, your processed foods, your caffeine, your alcohol, and just fueling your body so that you can be the best version of yourself. So hopefully that kind of explains a little bit more as a sort of fast detail as to why food is medicine. And hopefully we can learn from this process a little bit and come back even stronger as individuals. So thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you have a great rest of your day and hope to see you again soon. Thank you.